What is up, guys? It's your boy Aniki. We are finally. Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Aniki. Finally going live. About to pull up this latest chapter of My Hero Academia. Hour later than usual, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Still technically not on this site. Let's see. Don't play with me, Viz. Let's see. Do I have to read it on my phone today? Is that the world we live in? We live in a society. It is on my phone. But you know what? I don't think everybody's here yet, so it's okay. Let's get this party started. How you guys doing? I know some of you already read the chapters. You know, the scans still come out. Were you feeling positive about this? Please give me my crack. What's up, man? All right. Let's see. Are we on this? Quit playing with me. There it is. All right, chapter is open. Hold up. So I want to make sure I can read what you guys are saying while I'm reading this chapter. All right. Chapter 260. Jakku Hospital. Okay, first off, we got that Endeavor heat. Endeavor Hawks, 80 kilometers apart. Jakku Hospital, Gunga Mountain Village. I'm excited. All right. Eek. That is not the dignified fear that I expected out of All for One's most legendary henchmen. How? Doctor? Random civilians just seeing this happen. The Aizawa Yeet. All right, let's go. You ain't getting nowhere, old man. Woo. Drop that boy on his face. Looks like the registry was wrong. Sweating, huffing, and huffing. He aged the second you hit him with your erasure. Oh, shit. So he does have a quirk. Could that be the same quirk that's kept All for One alive this long? The Black Nomu specifically are all equipped with hyper regeneration. Similar quirks could always exist, but it's not common by any means. That type we classify as a rare quirk. Yo. Okay, so I just want to say right now that I've speculated that he's been able to replicate it based on genetic material before. So the fact that we actually get hard confirmation this is quirk replication or artificial quirking, let's go, because it's a DNA is sequencing. Like it's all data technically. You provided All for One with all that technology. Let's go. How neat. Oh snap. Present Mike. Woo-hoo. Present Mike is, you could apply all that regenerative medical care. Basically, it's like using cheat codes, yet why use it the way you did? Why'd you do it, you old piece of trash? This is what I like to see. I like to see my heroes feeling things. I like to see my heroes struggling, especially because I kind of don't like Present Mike usually. So this is stop that. Please don't be so rough with him. What did the good doctor even do? Oh boy, these are not random. Nope, these are MLA sympathizers. They got to be. Stand back, people. This isn't right. We need you out of here. We're evacuating the entire hospital in case we need to fight any Nomu. Oh shit. Best case, we take this place without spilling a drop of blood. Those Nomu brains are programmed to obey a designated handler without orders. They're just useless lumps. We know that much from studying the ones we've caught so far. The people you tinkered with and tossed aside are all saying, this is our payback. Ooh. All right, bet Dustin. Ooh. This page of Aizawa. No, please have mercy. Mirko, have mercy. Endeavor. Oh shit. We got company. 1, 2. Yeah, that is true. Like Mike's ready to fold this boy in half. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mirko versus 6 Nomu. Let's see if she can get them brain shots. We got company. Ooh, yeah, that Aizawa panel that's the kind of content we live for. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Okay. They more busting through. Aizawa's got a scarf back though, so we know he's pulling out to escape. Old man's regenerating though. Yep, back to fat form. It looks like a drill just popped out of his arm. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Okay. So organisms replicated by the double quirk aren't nullified by erasure. Good to know. If you knew I had replication technology, then you should have been more wary. Oh fuck. No, that's expecting too much from you, I suppose. So he was a twice clone. Oh man. Twice his quirk, then again, how could you have known that? I've let my double handle everything while I've been occupied with Komura Shigaraki, my masterpiece. Ooh. Yeah, they got him in the chamber like he's Vegeta, bro. This that sand chamber. Oh no. Oh me, oh my. I'm glad though, like a lot of us talked about Spikes potentially being like having a clone out there, so that is established. All right, cool. Hold up. And this makes way more sense though, because it didn't make sense to me for him to actually leave Shigaraki on autopilot unless he trusted the surgery like that much, and that didn't make sense to me. So let's go. Damn those meddlesome heroes. Let's see. I didn't want to abandon the hospital. Do they have any idea how much time and equipment it takes to replicate and cultivate a single quirk? Holy shit. This is a wall full of microchips. It means they're all or how much I've labored to amass this stockpile of quirks. It's all crammed in here. My life's work, the blood, sweat, tears, and happy days spent with all for one. All of it. Let's see. No. That's more high end than we saw the first time. Hold up. What? Ooh, what a rush. God damn! That's thick wagons for you. Ooh. See, you know what? I had part of this panel ruined for me because somebody just randomly dropped it on Twitter. But goddamn, not having the full context. All right, this is. Oh, hold on. Let me add East in here. What up, East? My bad. I've been focused on reading.
Got there shit.
Man, I'm out here focused on this read right now, man. Hold up. Did she actually pop their brains? Holy. Ooh.
Nigga, she cut clean through that nigga, bro.
She sliced and diced with her feet. That's my number 5 hero.
Yeah, clowning Davi, he got his ass out there for a fucking reason. That nigga's gonna get dumped.
Dog, he was not coming out okay. I got a tough call to make. Your walk is over, Johnny. I need you to work me and Shigaraki out of here stat. Yeah. Holy shit. The amount of quirks, bro. Are you the real one? Ooh. See, you know what? The thing I like about this, it's about time we got to see like a melee hero actually be like heat. But like, here's the thing. If you look at like the top 10 heroes quirks, right? Like, you're not sitting out here like screaming about how they all have like super high tier ones. Like nobody looks at, like Quirk Master or Fiber Master and any of that, and they like, oh yeah, this is like the most dominant quirk in the market. And like,
no, nobody looks at Hawk's quirk. Nobody look at Hawk's quirk and be like, Yeah, this shit could whoop anybody ass.
But like we look at Hawk Spark and we're like, yeah, but like he trained it and he's got the tech. So like they make it a point to gas the tech aspect of Hawk Squirt.
Yeah, the technique of it. That's what I'm saying. Like it was like alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like there hasn't really been a lot of high tier mutant type quirks. Like a lot of people who are like mutant type have been getting kind of like flexed because they're usually like criminals and they get like beat pretty easy. So this is like, so Horikoshi having Miracle just pull up like that and just.
He said she's normal, everything he loves. So I know she about to flex.
This is hold up.
Yeah, Ryan. That shit kind of funny, man. That nigga John Chong got his ass clapped. It's so funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I read it. I was like, because the first time I read this, I didn't peep that they had 20 plus high and normal.
Yeah.
That's how I was talking about on Twitter yesterday. I didn't want to tweet anything out because half these motherfuckers waiting for vids now and shit. So I was like,
yeah, like you should too. Dealing with these midlations.
Yeah, see the second batch was okay. The first batch, that shit was bleh. The first batch, I was like, damn, I'm debating on biz right now. But the second batch came, I was like, all right, this is better. But let's go ahead and talk about the GOAT. He finally got his moment. Y'all can actually shut up. He not the traitor. President Mike.
Bro. President Mike, like
he had his own page. He had his own Aizawa moment. Thank God.
Here's the thing though. This is like one of the first times, like when I was showing my buddies the Overhaul arc, had him sitting down watching it because we've been, going through the anime and stuff. He was like, the thing that's messed up is that Overhaul could have been like Jesus. Instead, this nigga's a Yakuza. Like he was like, it's actually kind of disappointing that he's a villain with all the potential that he had, like as a hero, like that he could have just fixed in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could literally save lives. Like he could be, he could have been that nigga. He could have been number one hero.
Yeah, like I'm about to shoot you that leak, kid.
Oh shit! This nigga Silver's little Michael like.
Hey, if Silver's finally caught up, you finally caught up, Silver's.
Yeah, he was capping. Bring his ass in. I heard Cece told me Silver was capping. He about to get a whooping. I honestly love that we still haven't seen a trailer get reviewed yet. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, we don't need. Here's the thing: is that I got my weird Skynet theory, right? Like we all know, I got the weird. It's secretly the robots, but like that's just because I feel like that has to mean something in the long term. It's like all the robot jokes about how they want like fuck humans, basically.
I don't know, but before we get way deeper into in-game stuff, real quick, thank you, Ryan, that the trailer hasn't been revealed yet either. Because no matter what anybody says, they still gonna be twerking while we're supposed to do this shit. And we just had this discussion yesterday about Dabi. I'm like, the reveal ain't been for us for I don't know how long. It ain't never been for us actually.
Yeah,
it's always been for the characters inside the story. And Endeavor HC arc just reconfirmed that, like reassured that shit. You froze on me. Yeah, you froze on me. What you say?
We good? Am I back?
Yeah, you back.
Okay. Hey, what's up, kid?
Not much. I just got done reading it. I finally dropped that meme, East.
Dog, this is... And good on y'all. Like, good on nobody for just like breaking and spoiling this for me, because...
Yeah. I know it's hard to avoid it because whenever I'm on Twitter, like people are always posting stuff like scans and all that.
Like, so. I feel bad, but like I just like hard muted Pineapple this week. Like, all right, I got to do it because you won't even put the word spoiler in your tweets about spoilers.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, now why would not have him muted already? Like, yeah, because Pineapple, he's on that quick.
Dog, what blew my mind is I saw a video that had like something from the chapter just like straight up said, and I was like, all right. So like that part I got spoiled for me that Mirko was gonna fight Enomu, and I'm like, all right, great. But like I didn't know it was gonna be this ill, so it still worked out for me. Like, I'm like, don't. Hey, it's all good, Florian. Like, you know, sometimes you can make it, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, it's true.
And okay, so first off, though, I'm glad that the regeneration quirk wasn't just like something that he gave to all for one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that, because this also means that when it said great nephew, he might be further like older than we even like. He's definitely older than we already had thought. So, because I used to think his name was going to be Tsubasa, just off of the fact that we knew that he was the kid that he turned into a Nomu that was their friend was something Tsubasa. So it was like we already knew that, and then like it even confirmed that that kid was taken in at Tsubasa Clinic. So it's just that he's far enough back in generation, so he's basically that dude's like more than like his great uncle, not just like his great uncle. So, dude, we got a dude that's been running with all for one for a while, at least I would say, like a good while.
Good long while. He been in this game for like. I can't wait to see their fucking backstory together. Him and Off One and the grueling days of doing all this shit.
Yeah, it's something I want to get insight on too.
Yeah. Also, the fact that Mirko got to be like the super Vanguard
white Nomu that she saw in the hallway.
See, some of them I think are white Nomu, but then like there's a bigger one that actually has like shell casing and like is like drawn darker, so I can't be 100% sure. But the thing is that when you look at her like rush attack, it looked like she literally cut their heads off with her teeth.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. She just like dashed right through there.
Like she straight up Yeah, like the thing is that like it's blurry because of the bottom, but you can actually see that she straight up kicked one of their brains off.
Yeah.
So like
I'm honestly curious to see like what's going to be happening now because Uchiko's pretty much cornered. Like he could have escaped, but John died in this chapter because as soon as she came in there, she like knocked down the door and crushed him. And I didn't expect him to like lift that up and like throw it to the other side of the lab. So I'm not sure what sort of trump cards he has.
Yeah, like that's the funny thing is that like this is a case of like him being a semi-decent entity. Like, oh, I'll let my human experiment pet take a walk. And because of that, it got his head split in half.
Yeah. I would want to keep that thing close to me at all times. The fact that he had to run across his lab is like pretty rough.
Yeah, like it. And the thing, yeah, you just can't do that. Like that's slipping. Like that's all it is. Oh, hold up.
And another thing I noticed when I was reading the chapter is that like he had this shelf with like these microchips in there. That's probably all the quirk that he has stored in there.
And that was the thing that I noticed. I was like, that's like a lot of them.
I think some of those got knocked down.
Hey, Rex in here. Let's go.
Hello.
My boy Rex.
What's going on, everybody?
Who's that?
Let me send Dustin this invite.
Well, have you read the chapter yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh my bad. I'm late on. I was practicing my script for my YouTube video that I'm creating. So I just saw the chapter drop.
All right, so you gotta do that real quick. Pop out, pop back in.
No, I've already.
Oh, okay.
I allegedly already read the chapter before it came out.
Okay. And Silvers, you are correct. Mirko deserves more love than Carrot. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. You are correct, even though you're saying it from a place of sheer Carrot hatred. But you know, hey.
No, Mirko is definitely like top 10 best females in My Hero.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
Here go. This is already one score out of 3 that I just needed because this round 1, I don't want to hear nobody talking about the female cast after this arc. All I need is 3 good high tier fights. That's all I need, and Ochako gotta be one of them. That's all I need. 3 high tier fights. And I want to hear shit about the female.
Well, we already know who best girl is. Hopefully, she comes back this arc, and that's La Brava. So you already know.
I definitely expect her to come back sometime this arc. Like it only makes sense at this point. Her and Gentle come back. They work alongside the heroes and everything.
That's something I've actually been really hyped for. Like the idea of Gentle coming back because Gentle was actually a skilled fighter,
Yeah.
So like him coming back, getting that love amp, fighting, like the idea of him possibly ricocheting a Nomu with his air screen into another one is just like,
Yeah, he
like
can
endless
utilize his quirk.
possibilities.
He can utilize his quirk in a lot of ways too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if people are able to remember where like he put his like elastic stuff at, like he could propel heroes forward and like backwards, like at incredible speed. So
Like,
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
the teamwork
ooh.
that would go in it with Gentle.
bro, you got to think we got the possibility of Deku like using those elastic screens to bounce off with like 20%. Here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but my estimation is that if full Cowan could hit 20% by overhaul arc, that
Yeah.
he's probably at least on some 25-30% right now at this point in the story. So like if he does like the max cow, so like him pulling up on like 30 to 35% this arc using Black Whip, I feel like that's where we could see him doing like burst stuff now, because I don't think he's stuck at that 20%, right? Like he's basically been doing a whole work study.
He already told Endeavor he had 25%, right?
He said 10 to 15 is his comfortable limit. We knew that during the overhaul arc, 20% was his like uncomfortable limit.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying like his uncomfortable limit should probably be around 30 or 40 right by now. If we're being honest.
It's been fucking 3 months since then. They've been working their asses.
Yeah, it has to be around there.
Well-
He's been training for quite a while.
so so I think 15% over what his comfortable limit is always what we should like put his uncomfortable limit at. So if you can go 15% comfortably, 30% should be his uncomfortable. And then when he finally reached 30, 45 would be his uncomfortable. So it's going to be like at least 15% over where he could do it like a burst attack.
Man, the movie
Yeah.
is not in theaters by me yet. Not everybody has, a theater friend that lets them go inside of a movie theater and watch something that doesn't come out until a month later.
Wait, when does it come out?
For me, it comes out the 26th, so like 2 weeks and 3 days.
Hold up.
Same here. It was like 26 for me too.
It's Hero Horizons, right?
Yeah.
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 My movie theater is like,
Mm,
well, the show I chose like almost sold out. Good thing I got it like first day.
oh, snap. It comes out. Okay, so it comes out the 26th. And I live in Atlanta, so there's always going to be a movie theater playing it here. So
I'm seeing it the 27th. If you guys want, I'm doing a movie stream. So
you mean like right after?
it doesn't have to be right after, because like if you guys can't get it till like Saturday, for example, but like you guys want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to see it day one. The day it comes out, I'm going to go see it. So
I heard a lot of people that I've seen. I heard like good things about it.
Yeah, like I'm seeing a bunch of random people on Twitter that are like, yeah, like I saw the movie last night, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
like how?
Yeah, how I don't know how they would see it last night.
But okay, hold up, because like this Shigaraki panel, like you can see it. It looks like he's got like an X on his chest. Like you can see that his body is changing, like for real, for real. I don't know what he's about to look like when he comes out. I can't tell.
Oh,
if that's like,
Shigaraki?
yeah,
I just saw a picture of it. I was like scrolling through Twitter. I saw him inside the tube. It looks like he has some sort of thing on his chest now.
yeah. Like I can't.
You know,
tell
you know what he looks like? He looks like kind of like how Nine looked on his chest a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed people say that. I remember. That's actually one of the first things I saw, like on Twitter. People were like, "Oh, is that 9 in the tubes?" Like, I don't remember Uchiko experimenting on 9 for like the past couple chapters. That wouldn't make sense. Like, where did he put Shigaraki?
Yeah,
And it looks like that he's like a hybrid between a Nomu, like the black Onum, and like if you look at the bottom left of the panel, you see the Nomus and how like they're fully black with a little bit of white.
yeah.
Where Shigaraki's mostly white with a little bit of black. So I think he's gonna
Yeah,
have a Nomu body.
I think he's got like the ribs and stuff. So it's looking like
perfect
Yeah,
number.
because people mentioned that Shigaraki's one of the few that actually kept his mental state and at the same intact. Remember he was first getting experimented on, and he was like, he's perfect. He kept his mental state intact, unlike anybody else.
that's good.
yeah. So
You see,
Shigaraki,
had that luck in hand.
like Shigaraki is about to be.
I just have this weird
let's-
feeling that he's gonna wake up early. I don't know why, but there's just this thing that's been running in my mind where I feel like he's just gonna wake up early and catch Ujiko off guard, because like it's like I mentioned earlier, it's like I don't know how Ujiko is gonna get out of the situation, because obviously they were planning ahead because they had the twice clone. So obviously they expected this to be one of the outcomes where the heroes were going to be on top of them and they're going to figure out something. So I can give them props for that, for planning ahead, not just saying, okay, we have all of this. The heroes have no chance to stop. It's like they actually have, like, okay, maybe there's that 1% where they could infiltrate, like, the hospital or everything. Like, they had a plan in mind, but it's like, I don't know where he's going to go. Like, yeah, Mirko has him cornered at this point. So unless he sets out those high end or somebody else from the Liberation shows up or Shigaraki wakes up early, I don't really know what's going to go on with that.
And what I bet
go
ahead, Ace.
You got it.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, what I don't want to happen is, I really hope this doesn't happen where Shigaraki's forced to wake up early and he doesn't have all his abilities. Yeah, that's what I don't want to. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't want that either. Like, I want him to take his time, like, with this whole entire operation, so everything is there. So, I don't want it to be completely rushed. But it's like, I don't know.
If the surgery ends up being like, if he ends up out of it early, right? The way I look at it is, what that will tell us is that we're not going to see a Deku at 100% versus Shigaraki fight. Like, we'll see him with all the quirks maybe, but we won't see him with 100%. Just because Deku's still going to be city level by the time he hits like 70, 80, especially, and like Shigaraki is city level. So we kind of already have like this crazy power. So it might be to clip that a little so we don't get too ridiculous to the point where people are like, well, the only choice is for Shigaraki to just level all of Japan. We know he can do it and he wouldn't care. And so we got to avoid that too, I think. But even if Shigaraki breaks out now, I think he'll scale up better to his full power, but he'll have way better control over it because of it.
I really hope we get really wacky with Shigaraki's quirk. I really hope he starts destroying countries like they can't. Like, I want to see a panel where, I mean, like, the heroes are in the air on the airplane, like how All Might was when he left, to go to America, and we see the decay spreading over the country, and like how. Like, we just see like civilians slowly are running away as like a kind of like a World Wars like 2012. Have you guys seen the movie 2012?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. You like how the ground was coming up and
like
stuff.
All the magma on the ground.
Yeah, like we see that, and we see like civilians just like get ripped apart as they're trying to run away. Like, I hope we get some crazy stuff like that with Shigaraki. He's like just laughing.
I could see one of those things towards the end when they're trying to like leave, because there's no way they're going to stay there.
One of the things that I see it, I want Shigaraki's decay to become more focused. So like, if you guys remember, like when he was touching his mom and then like they fell apart like in chunks and it was like a lot of fissures. So what I kind of want is for Shigaraki's decay to work like it can do just like a straight propagation, or they can be focused more in like lines, and those lines go further. So that like, let's say if like, so he gets like pentuple the range essentially because it's more focused and it goes like a line. So what that would allow him to do though is like decay like the entirety of Japan, but like it wouldn't be completely decayed, but rather it would just cause like mass destruction throughout the country, but still like have a landmass so that it still actually live there. And like it would just be like, okay, this is like the range of like full power Shigaraki. He can literally like spread chaos throughout an entire country in an instant.
Because he destroyed a good majority of that other city.
But he just destroyed it like in a giant circle. So you want to kind of like, that's how it spreads. Then it just guaranteed kills everything. Period. At the end, and it's like, wait. So like if it has to be shaped, that would be kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, and like I don't know, is Johnny dead?
Johnny has to be dead.
He has to be.
Johnny's head is in two.
Yeah, because when Mirko was like charging in there, she knocked down that door, and then that door landed on top of him. So unless he has like superhuman strength, and he like tosses that thing back at her,
or if he has regenerative abilities, because I think all nobles have like a certain like regenerative ability.
Yeah, but his brain exploded.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna look at it again. Hold on. I think it did. Yeah.
Like the trick with all the nobles, you have to break their brains.
You said what?
I don't know.
He said Ujiko got something.
else planned. That nigga definitely not going.
Oh yeah, it's split in half. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has something else planned. Like, I just feel like he's baiting Like that's this vibe I get from Dr. Ujiko. He just constantly baits people. Like he pretends to be like, oh my god, like I'm gonna get captured and all that. But then it's gonna be one of those things where he's like, oh, you thought this was gonna happen. Well,
and here's part of why.
Yeah.
He already said that Shigaraki was more perfect than expected.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me has a really hard time believing that like part of me feels like what happened is at the start of the surgery, the clone would have been made. And so the clone would go up there, handle everything above ground. And there's like no reason for the clone to actually talk to him that much. So at that point, maybe every now and then with the clone, like what the detective saw with the clone, like coming in there just to make sure it was operating on top, like fine. So if this Ujiko knows something that the other one doesn't, which would be the optimal way to run this, then there's a chance Shigaraki could be effectively not already done, but more of a just like recovering from like just to make sure his mind is stable when he comes out the tube kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like be full power. He would just be a little nutty right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope that the villains did what I want to see. Have you guys seen the new season of Rick and Morty?
No.
Are any of you guys planning on watching it? Because I want to. It's kind of like a spoiler.
Nope.
I don't want to.
I don't have like a plan to watch it, but it's also Rick and Morty, so even if it's spoiled for you, like oh well.
Yeah. Okay. So they had an episode basically where they were doing heist, and like they were like mocking heist movies, and like it would like do like this rewind scene of like how everything happened. I hope we get like a rewind into the past, and we see like Ujiko and like Redestro like planning all of this stuff out to where there's like. Obviously, we know Hawks is listening on all this. Obviously, we know that 4 months is the plan. Let's give out all this false information, and it only takes Shigaraki 2 months and a half, and then like a month and like half a month of recovery. So like, or like it's only take him 2 months because Shigaraki is more perfect than we expected. But they don't let this information out. This is like confidential information, and they're using Twice to deliver all this information to Hawks, and Hawks thinks that that Twice is like this perfect key to tell us how everything and for the entire time it's been wrong, and like Shigaraki like pops up and like the Paranormal Liberation Front all pop up at the hospital. I think that would be really dope, and that no one's in the mansion. Like I hope there's no one in the mansion at all. Like that would be really dope.
Man, if there's no one in the mansion,
I can see Bakia being in the mansion.
Actually, you're right. I can see Makia being in the mansion by himself.
Makia is perfect.
He's more than enough. Yeah,
he's really more than enough. Like I don't know even if all top 10 heroes like fought together, if they could bring him down, and that's like a scary thought.
Because here's the thing: is like the thing that makes that especially worth note in considering is because of the fact that Dobby's flames, like he was just like, what are you doing? And it's stated like Dobby's flames are hotter than Endeavor's. Even during Pro Hero arc, they're like, holy, these are way too intense to be Endeavor. Like we know that like Dobby's flames don't work. So
yeah, and we know that Endeavor for the most part is like the most DC or like destructive capabilities out of anybody right now in the Pro Hero side. So
yeah, like,
it's kind of like who is taking down Giganto in a like if all top 10 heroes like fought, they may bring it to like a stalemate, or like they're all injured, like they're all going to be like severely injured because we know that Giganto wasn't even trying versus Shigaraki and them, or like he was holding back. So it's like how strong is this dude really?
Then when Geaton he pulled up, and Geaton is a top 10.
Yeah, Geaton is.
Oh yeah,
top 5.
Yeah, so like
definitely we see him and Dobby work together. You can only imagine what they're gonna bring to the table.
And then we got Redestro as well. Like we don't know how.
Yeah, that's the thing is that Redestro himself is also borderline like city level when you look at the range on some of his attacks, because it's important to note that every burden we saw was decayed.
Yeah.
So we were seeing him level like city blocks with an attack that technically was canceled out every single time he swung it.
Yeah.
So like the Paranormal Liberation Front has multiple villains that can just kind of show up and dick like half the like pro like roster in one shot.
And honestly, if we've been really realistic, the only person that they really need to be there is Twice. And he doesn't really need to be there. If Twice has a couple high ends and a couple gigantos, like everyone else can be just chilling. Twice is the only person they really need. If we've been real.
Yeah, because even like Hawk said, like he's the person that he fears the most, just based on like what he's capable of. And I feel like Horikoshi is like setting that up for us to see, where it's going to be one of those things where like there's going to be one point in this arc where like Twice is just going to lose his mind and he's just going to go wild, and we're just going to see something completely different, like even crazier than what we saw from
The thing is,
the other arc.
Twice is going to find out that Hawks has been like, because here's the thing: is that a lot of people go, "Oh, what if it's Twice?" No, I think it's the actual Twice, and I think yes, they've been planning on counting on him being betrayed, and yes, he's going to find out, and it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
even Hawk
definitely.
stated himself, like you were like out of everybody in the villain side, Twice is the most good-hearted. He's the most good-natured out of all of them. He's genuinely a person that cares about people, and he's just a product of his circumstance. And like,
If you let even one person from like the main League of Villains get injured, even in a slight way, or
Twice is going.
yeah, like if somebody dies, Twice is gonna snap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he's
saw
going
what
crazy.
happened with him and Toga too.
Yeah,
In the other arc, My Villain Academia, you saw he flipped.
Like,
and what I want to highlight is what Twice said to Hawks. He's like, it's somebody that cares about his comrades can't be all that bad. And for Hawks to betray Twice, it's like you don't care about your comrades, and you're the bad person. And that is like to the next level with Hawks.
because it's like what they said. Twice's backstory and his personality, and like I called him back when I started doing like NBA stuff. Twice is a typical shonen protagonist archetype, but like thrown into the villain side and made to live like a shitty life where nobody comes and saves the day. So he's just kind of out here like trying to figure out how everything's going and just constantly getting dunked on by the wheels of fate. And if you betray like the guy that who's like lived his whole life getting dunked on and finally found like peace and like happiness with some friends, and he's objectively mentally unstable, I don't know what you like. Hawks should have thought about like the risk factor of what's happening, especially because I think by now he knows what happened at Deka.
Yeah, like this is why I think that implanting a spy is such a hard thing. It's such a double-edged sword for the heroes because there's so many unstable villains in the Paranormal Liberation Front. Like their mental state it should be accounted for, and I don't think they've accounted for it to the extreme that they should have. And like someone like Toga, for example, like she is gonna like her abilities. We still don't know what she can do. Like like how she's able to like make her presence disappear and all of that. Like and like just how crazy she is and like how far we've seen her go for the people that she likes in the paranormal, especially Twice. Their relationship is like thick as thieves. Like if one of them sees each other get hurt, that's it. Like they're both going crazy. And I don't think that I think the heroes specifically are looking at the villains as not people and just entities of evil.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing how much of some of them are more humane than the heroes themselves. And it's like, it's just that they're all just product of their circumstance. Like Toga, for example, she loves people. It's just in a different way than normal society. And it's like she's at fault for something that she has no control over. Twice is the same way. Shigaraki, same way. Dabi, whoever he is, same way. Whoever that guy is.
Start that shit.
Whoever Dabi is, we don't know yet. We'll find out this arc. Whoever he is.
Definitely.
Still pushing that he isn't Toya agenda.
If he's not, I want everyone to like just bow down. Just like, yes, I knew it. I called it. He's not Toya.
I told you if that happens, I'll do a stream wearing a clown outfit.
Because like
Rex gonna be wearing a clown outfit. So that's all right.
Yo, if he is Toya, I definitely will buy that clown outfit, and I will be on stream.
I might as well too. We might as well just make this like a group thing because I'd give Horikoshi props for like trolling that hard. that happened.
The thing is, like, what if Dabi is like Kurogiri in a sense, where yes, that is the body of Toya, but that isn't Toya anymore.
My
Do we still
thing,
count? Do we still count that as being Toya?
my thing is Toya is
Yeah.
like one of the things that somebody mentioned was that fourth degree burns can cause like memory loss.
Yeah.
So I've always considered the possibility of Toya having lost his memory
Mhm.
and like fallen into some stuff, gotten like medical treatment from the doctor, thrown into an orphanage though, because he wasn't going to take a quirk that has so much backlash on it.
Yeah.
Because if Endeavor's flames are enough to like go even with the regeneration quirk, then Dobby's flames basically would still beat the regeneration quirk, which I think is something worth noting. So I don't think Dobby would have made a good Nomu, and because of that, he was spared. Like having a quirk that's too good for you is also a blessing, in the same way that Deku not having a quirk as a child saved him more than likely.
Hey, Rex, well, answer your question about if that whole the normal is his body, but I am. It depends. That would be a no clown suit. That just be like a draw right there.
Yeah.
Because the technical would be too many technicalities. Because okay, well, everybody's half wrong, everybody's half right.
Yeah. And I think that's
was
the
case.
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say that's a stalemate. You go.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, and if that's the case, then that makes a lot of sense on why Toya / Dabi hasn't gone to see Todoroki, his mom, or like all these other people, like, because like even though if he hated Endeavor, he had so much love for like his other siblings because we saw them playing all the time, and I don't think he would hold a grudge against his siblings for something that Endeavor did.
Nah, they're not. Unless he had some sort of jealousy thing with him and Shoto. Other than that, I don't think so. I think he'll just treat him the same way.
So you gotta look at it like this is like Ray didn't like you gotta think like Ray probably wasn't helping this nigga. People can easily blame other people for their issues, especially if you have family members and I'm over here suffering every fucking day and not a single nigga stepping up. You know Ray wasn't stepping up like that. And if she did, she probably got put back down. You know the kid wasn't stepping up. I mean, the best thing you can make is not to, but he could easily garter off his feelings, or being through he could have not wanted to go back and deal with. It's hard facing people you used to care about, and you don't want them to see you as a monster. I mean, he wouldn't care for Endeavor. Fuck that nigga. You gotta think about
on his way.
Yeah.
So,
well, go ahead.
One of the things though that like for me is that I think if Ujiko, because somebody asked, it's like stated they didn't think that he encountered Dabi at all before MVA. Part of the reason I suspect this is just because I think about the immediate interest he took in Dabi, and I don't think him being offhanded like whatever to his leader would be enough for like Dabi or like for Ujiko to be like that's the boy, I gotta like hang out with him. Like that was a little strange. So I just try to give it like more of a reason, like a motive behind like that sudden interest besides I think your pants are cool. Which is like what some people actually say for Dabi and how he ends up being their favorite member of the league. But hey.
I don't know. There's definitely a reason why Horikoshi has hidden Dabi's identity for this longest time, and why even during the Camino Ward arc, like how he got knocked out and everyone else's names were like said, but Dabi's name was conveniently left out, or it was just so many questions like and mysteries behind Dabi that
Yeah, it's like why don't we get to why was his name spared there when everybody else's wasn't? But
why did he tell it? I'll tell you my name when it's needed. When the time comes when he first met.
Why was that like something he thought was like a smart thing to say or like appropriate? There's a lot of what ifs and but it's just that Dabi from a rational perspective is like constantly being led towards being Toya. But I will also say that a lot of people feel like Kaminari is being set up to be the traitor, and I believe that Kaminari is a red herring. So Dabi
no red.
So I'm not that's why I'm never too hard on Rex about it can't be Toya. just because I personally don't believe it's Kaminari. So I'm like, I can't.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. After watching this last episode of My Hero, I've jumped back on the train. Ayoma is definitely the traitor. He's because I was I was thinking like this Ayama Deku friendship has not paid off in any way. And what was the point of Horikoshi doing all of that? Because Horikoshi don't write stuff in the series that don't matter. And just like who watched the episode?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
remember that scene where Ayoma, like the whole screen went blue and we saw Ayoma make a face?
Yeah.
Of course it's like played off to say, oh, that's how he like crapped his pants. But I think that was Ayoma being like, yeah, I'm doing this and I feel crappy about what I'm doing.
But no.
Yeah, no pun intended. But yeah.
I think
one of the reasons why I like support that theory though is just because like he's always had the insecurity. He didn't eat with other people. Like that was always emphasized. He was missing at all key points. Like he was missing at the USJ invasion, and like he makes it a point to say it's a secret. And like you said, Horikoshi doesn't do that like as just a gag. So like it's set up where Aoyama has this big secret. And the thing is that because he eats by himself, we know that based on the anime scene that they added in for like a little extra context, but also it was already confirmed because it was crumpled to dust that Shigaraki is the one who broke into the school. All Shigaraki has to do while he's broken into the school is run into Aoyama and blackmail him. Then he doesn't even have to get too far into the school, get in and out, and boom, he's done.
And also the this really reiterated like during the anime episode, like how his quirk is incompatible with his body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we know he said he worked with a doctor, and throughout the entire story, anytime a doctor is mentioned, it's a bit Ujiko. So like, I think that Ujiko gave him a quirk because like, and that's the reason why it's not compatible with his body. Because it's like, we've always seen quirks not being compatible with people's body, but it's only during activation. It's never been a passive thing. And Ioma's is the only one that's a passive, like where it just randomly leaks out. Like I think that's kind of weird.
But he didn't.
Hold up.
He never said the doctor said that your quirk isn't compatible with your body, and then his parents bought him that naval. His parents bought him the naval thing.
By the way, welcome to the chat, Dustin.
Yo, what's good, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, shit.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, kid? I'm just listening to Rex being wrong as usual.
What? Yo, I'm just laying out
In my
theories that I
personal
think.
opinion, like the way I looked at that whole entire interaction of Aoyama and Deku was just his way of expressing himself in a weird way. That's how I personally viewed it.
That's how I looked at it for the longest. But then, like as I watched the episode, I was like, oh no, that's like the animation and the actual speaking tones and everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that was just him being awkward.
He also don't think Dobby is Toya, so we gotta take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
Before we go on the tangent, my thing with Ayama is that he knows who the traitor is, but he doesn't have proof because you can't any of us can accuse it. We're the same as 1A, probably worse inside their universe. If any one of us accuse somebody being a traitor, that's like, well, what proof do you have that that's the traitor? We have a bunch of contacts that the other kids don't. So imagine these are family members by now. They're not just class 1A students anymore. They have lived together. They fought together. They've all died together.
PTSD buddies.
Yeah, they've been in dormitories.
Yeah.
So it's like they're family members now. They're not just classmates anymore. So it's like if I'm gonna go out here and accuse somebody, I have to have some actual proof, not just like, well, this, that, and other. They're like looking at you kind of crazy too, and then like, yo. So
My problem with the community though is that like everybody is I ain't gonna say everybody, but everybody seems like just so keen that it's a class 1A student.
No, well,
when it's been stated that when they first introduced the traitor, they said it could be a student, it could be a teacher, it could be anybody. But everybody's just so keen that it's a class 1A student because that'll be the ultimate betrayal. People feel like.
I don't know how many theories you look at, Dustin, but there's been a lot of theories of like different teachers, like Vlad, for example.
I'm not talking about Reddit theory. I'm talking about the people that I talk to in the community. Everybody's so keen on it being a student or wants it to be a student. Like Sunpatch even tweeted the other day that it's Kirishima.
My number one pick is the robots. It's just that I don't like talking about that because nobody want to hear that.
Oh no, that is a smart pick. That is because they always say some real like underhanded stuff like, oh, I guess we'll just let that pass.
What robots?
Okay, here's the thing. Throughout all of My Hero Academia, you have like these random little robot supervisors on the grounds at UA that like they reported like Bakugo and Deku fighting. They can make comments about how humans are scary. They're like, humans, well, not silly humans. They have to train and eat to like recharge and all kinds of stuff like that. They constantly say like random snide stuff about humans. Where like to me it would be kind of funny if it turned out that like all these little gags were just Horikoshi setting up like a robot like Civil War type situation where they just like play the humans against each other so the robots inherit the earth. They don't care about the air quality. Burn your cities. Like,
don't you think it's possible that somebody could be controlling them too, though?
Well, yeah, like that's the other thing is that like we haven't had like a high tier technomancer show up, and I'm sorry, but like technopathy is like an obligatory power in like these kinds of series. It always has to make an appearance. And Horikoshi's a big Western fan. There's no way he'd ignore like technopathy when it's always a relevant ability.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good one too. This is the first time I've even heard anyone say the robots could be the traitor. Like honestly, it's up in the air. Like I've gone from different sides of like it being Kaminari to being Ayama to being Vlad.
Kaminari, not Kirishima.
Yeah, like I've gone through different phases of who I think the traitor is. Like, and I even gave up on like even caring about who it was because I was like I just don't know. Horikoshi revealed it. Then after this episode, like it's Ayama again. So I'm pretty sure I'll change up again sooner or later.
And my thing is,
I got money on Nezu. I got money on Nezu. It's too much shit going on.
I'm going. Oh, sorry.
Don't know anything. I'm my fault. I'm like, how you the smartest nigga in this verse, but you don't know anything? How you keep getting out of school? How you keep getting out of school? Got that big ass gash on his eye. He don't like humans, and his sadistic side be leaking out from time to time. And it's too much going on. It's like, and yeah, he a human breed, like a human mixed breed. So why was he able to escape? Like, did he break his way out, or did they let him out? It was like, and you know, like Ujiko living as long as he did, it's too much sketchy shit. If he in a trade, he got something going on, bro. He ain't been utilized in that fashion.
To me, the trader got to be somebody that we would not expect. Like you look at that person, like, oh yeah, that ain't a trader.
I feel like the trader can be someone we've expected, but I think it doesn't matter. Because here's the thing, right? To me, it doesn't matter if we're right, because even when we're right, a lot of the times, Horikoshi does stuff in a way that like the execution is off enough from like how we thought it was going to go down that it doesn't matter that we got. Like I was like one of those big people who's like some kind of villain tournament arc. Here's the thing. When I was just thinking about like, okay, like another villain has to come out of the cut to challenge Shigaraki for the throne because Overhaul mentioned specifically the game, like the throne being an issue. So I was like, no, that has to like come up. So I expected some kind of conflict. I thought it was going to be like another gang versus gang type situation, something like that. Instead, we got a war that establishes the foundation for a second war that like ended up being on a scale and about like upgrades, us understanding people's quirks better, learning more about the lore and the culture. Like that, there was all a bunch of extra stuff that I wasn't expecting us to inherit out of a villain versus villain arc, but we got it all. And so I was like, damn, like this isn't how I expected it to go down.
I got shout out to my boy Boomer though, because my boy Boomer called that we were gonna have a all villain arc.
Like, we talked about, I think like, Boomer and I talked about it in like one of the Discord servers a long time ago. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like 2017 when me and him talked about it. I think like on stream. I was like, nigga, I thought he was kind of like, bro, you think it's gonna be a whole villain arc? That's wild. That happened.
Public service announcement. A Gravity Boys is out.
Oh my god.
Man, I'll get around to reading it. I actually downloaded all the chapters. I just
don't read it, bro. Don't do that to your eyes.
Yo, this man is a hater.
Hold on.
I haven't read it yet, but it doesn't capture my interest.
I read the latest Yaba chapter and I was like, oh my god, I'm tired of this damn series.
Hold up. Here's that's exactly what I expect out of the latest Yaba chapter. And I know that sounds mean, but like
now I just want it to end. I'm so disappointed.
I'm not trying to slander it like that. Let's talk about things that make me happy. Like
yeah.
Oh man. Like the other thing though is that you got to ask yourself why did the doctor only give himself that regeneration quirk? Was that the only quirk he could access? Could he not modify himself? Like there are certain things that I'm curious about. If he just like regeneration, like this is where I'm cool with peaking. Like I don't need to risk anything else happening to my body, or if like the regeneration wouldn't have like let him take on an extra quirk or two.
How long has he been with All for One? Has he been there since the beginning?
I think like we know he's been there at least since Shigaraki was 5.
Yeah.
Well, he had to have been there before then because
Yeah, he was
they already
longer
had,
than that.
yeah, because they had already been working together like to create like Nomus and Giganto and stuff like that. So we know that he had been around past Shigaraki's age. So Shigaraki was 5, so he had to have been there before Shigaraki was born. So how much further back does he go? Like, is he there since All For One got everything, and like he was like in his prime?
I
No,
think
they said they met at some point. Like he wasn't there ever since the very beginning.
I mean, not the very beginning, but like enough for it to be over like 50 something years ago.
I think it's enough for it to be like over 40 years ago. I'd say 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm going with that is because he passes for like a 50-year-old man
Yeah.
right now. And actually, you know what? That's something we should have caught as a community when we got Shigaraki.
I was just thinking of that.
He looked the exact same in Shigaraki's flashback as he does right now. And none of us thought about that.
We were just so impressed with the flashback, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was super focused on like Shigaraki and like All For One looked different. We were like, oh yeah, this is back when he had hair and eyes. And like,
damn, you're right.
Yeah.
So this quirk has been active for a good minute.
So it's been active since before we got Shigaraki's flashback. So I'm thinking like they had to meet about 40, 45 years ago.
I was confused. I didn't know if that was a quirk or if he was just looking like that because that was a twice clone and Aizawa had used his ability on the twice clone and it started to like melt away, but it wasn't enough to where it would like completely fall away. I was confused. I didn't know what it. I didn't know if that was. I didn't know if they was mistaking it for a quirk, but it was really just because it was a twice clone or what.
Yeah, and like
that's I'm in the same boat.
And that puts us in consistent. What's interesting though is that well, I guess it makes sense because like Dabi and them, like the Dabi clone, like Aizawa fought one, so Aizawa would have known that he can't erase clones' existence. But now that I think about it, like that's something that only Dabi clones would have known. All the Dabi clones that would have known it got their asses beat. So that's something that the bad guys never had information, like the information access to. So that's actually Horikoshi being weirdly consistent about a quirk. And that also confirms that like the Dabi clones don't automatically, like the clones don't automatically send information back to twice. He just gets information when they stop existing. So that's just like little details that I think matter a little there.
I think there's a lot of little things that I think all as a community has missed throughout the entire series that are like coming up now. And like even like we just pointed out like the Dr. Age thing. If we didn't have this discussion, I probably would have never even thought about it. So it's like I think there's still little things that we have missed that Horikoshi has like laid breadcrumbs throughout the series that if we just go back and read and like actually analyze a lot more stuff, we'll see stuff like that we potentially missed.
The one thing that bugs me about this though is that he kept all of these chips here. Like all of them. Like why? Like
I was so mad when America busted through. I was like, wait, they were that close? I thought they were on like another side of like. I was like, why does he have everything here? Like, why is this is only contingency? Like
he was about to abandon the high ends, wasn't he? I was like, yeah, that'd be crazy. But now I'm thinking he's about to activate the high ends and Maruko about to be fucked.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like I don't know how else he's gonna like.
And the thing is, that, like if you notice, have mercy is like the code.
Mm-hmm.
So that means all he has to do is have like one like vocal phrase, and then that'll be enough to get like all these high end to pop off possibly.
How many is in there again?
12.
Yeah, there's 12 in here at least.
No,
it's more. It's more because yeah, I'm looking like 5. I can see 5 in the row. Okay, so if you go to page 13,
yeah,
see like it's all crammed in here. Like there's a row. There's at least
the
left, right. So that's at least 15 that we can see that are probably high end.
But maybe they're not ready though because he wasn't even thinking about using them. He was just thinking about dipping.
Well, I think they're not like. So here's the thing though. Like the question becomes, what does not ready actually mean? Does not ready mean they literally cannot function, get up and move, or does not ready just mean they aren't as OP as I want them to be?
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Yeah. So if they can still get up and move, this is still a big problem for
But still, why wouldn't he think of using them? Why would he just abandon them? If they could still serve some purpose, then why would he just use them instead of just straight out abandoning them and forfeiting them to the heroes?
Maybe he's trying to get away first, and then he's going to activate them from a distance.
But the way he said it though was like he was going to abandon everything. He didn't care. He was as long as he had Shigaraki. That's all he cared about.
Yeah, I know.
But you think about it, his masterpiece after God knows how long, maybe 50, 70, probably 100 plus years is finally complete. And they just pulled up, so he's not taking any chances. He could pull out a high end, but they could still beat that high end.
And the thing is,
worried about Shiggy.
So I'm just saying he could use that high end to like ensure your escape with Shiggy though by like distracting heroes even for a fraction of a second.
You remember how he got Makia to stop trying to whoop their ass?
Yeah,
Single button, Makia. So he can have a recording like that. Like as soon as they teleport out, he can still smack that and just like, yo, whatever happens. Like I can come back in there, go to the bubble after like 18 high end, go wild on these like heroes, and like check it out there and find out, like see if I got any chips left or anything like that. But I'm not going to stand here in this, turmoil,
And what I find interesting is that his phrase for releasing the no moves was "Have mercy." That's the only a phrase you have if you expect something bad to happen.
Yeah, and the thing is that the program, I think, yeah, okay. So remember when I was talking about how I don't think the clone like knew everything?
Yeah.
Because the have mercy phrase also was a destination code that led to the Nomu specifically drilling him. If you look, like Nomu is what takes him out, not anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So from that perspective, they might have different programming codes to do different things to save him, depending on like what's said. So have mercy might be one of the codes, or like the code for protecting and destroying a clone plus whoever saw it. And then another code will be for protecting him and making sure that he's absolutely safe no matter what.
Hold up. I don't know if we've talked about it, but let me go back to last chapter. What's just 260, 259, 259. Where the kids are evacuating the city, right?
Most of the kids.
The big three are evacuating the city. Kirishima and them are with the raid for the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got Vernon leading the evacuation squad.
Yeah, I'm just really curious on why the heroes are putting the students in this situation.
They said they only need them for a little
One
bit.
of the
they're
things
send them to the evacuation.
that reminded me of that situation was the provisional license exam, where they were doing that practice training with like rescuing civilians in like dangerous situations. It's kind of like a callback of what they're doing right now. Now all that's being put to the test because they're probably going to approach civilians and they're probably not going to want to go with them because they're too worried and everything, and they're going to have to take what they learned from that training in order to like help out all these people in danger. Because like I personally can't see it like going smoothly. Like I could see some of them being put at a safe spot, but I don't see all of them like being safe. Because once the villains like reach the city and all that, like destruction is just going to go everywhere, and there's going to be casualties. People are going to get injured or something like that.
I agree. That's what I was telling Rick. I was like, we know that the students are not going to be like they may be planning to evacuate, but they're going to get involved. That's just what's like the nature of the story.
Well, the only reason why I'm saying that is because I don't see why the pro hero, like they know this is probably the most dangerous mission any of them have gone on. Why are they putting the students in this predicament when they're so young? That's just me. That's the only thing I was saying.
I know Hawk said that like if things go wrong, they might have to rely on the students.
But the way I interpreted that, just me personally, I thought there was like more of a future contingency plan so they can still grow. Like you teach them now so that later on they'll come back and help.
They just directly reference what you said though in like the last chapter when they had them at the front lines. They said they needed them there for a particular reason for a little bit, and then they were going to get them back to evacuation.
Thank you, That's what I was about to say.
Well, I know that. I know all of that, but my whole thing is the heroes know this is the most dangerous mission, and they're particularly, even on internship, they're particularly protective of the students in situations because it's like at the end of the day they're still kids. So it's like it's just curious to me on why they're even putting them in this situation to begin with.
They don't have a choice.
Well, no, they have a particular reason that they haven't revealed to us yet. They said it. They had a reason why they wanted them dead just for a little bit. They just Torikoshi hasn't revealed exactly why that, because they picked certain students. Like they didn't put Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo there. They got them on the evacuation squad. So it's a reason that those certain people that they got there, like Kaminari, are picked there for a reason.
I think part of it is quirk matchups. Part of it is going to be about, like, think about it this way, right? We've seen 4 platoons, and 3 of them are led by like top 10 heroes. Like you've seen one that was led by Edshot, one that was led by Endeavor. I'm trying to remember what the other one was led by right now.
Burning?
Or yeah, so we've seen like 3. I know there's 4 of them though. So yeah, you got like Fat Gum, but like you got Burning, who's technically a sidekick leading one of the platoons. So I think there's a certain balance of power that's being maintained here, where they got to make sure that, like, and if you think about it, the origin trio back in season 2, back during the sports festival, Bakugo and Todoroki are stated to be as good as like the average pro, essentially, or like Gina says that he can take Bakugo on as a sidekick right now because he's that good. And so if you have them already at the level that like a pro can be expected to perform at to a certain degree, then Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku are effectively like being seen as pro heroes more than likely as far as their scaling is concerned. And people within the verse would recognize that. Keep in mind, since we're like 4 months into their work study, they've probably gotten and garnered some form of fame by now. There's no way I'm going to believe that Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto like have done nothing to get in the papers by now, right?
Working with Endeavor.
So like there's a really good chance that they're like in charge of certain units because they're expecting certain things to happen, right? Like they need to balance the combat power. In case somebody attacks the evac unit, we need to have strong heroes who are really good right now. Okay, so we got to make sure we have Endeavor paired with Mirko. We got to make sure the number 9 heroes there in Endeavor. We got to make sure we have like this elite force attacking where we think the Nomu might be, but we also need to have elite small time heroes or like small timers like Deku, like the origin trio, on evac duty in case the Metal Liberation Army attacks these people. They have, like these high tier opponents to still actually combat them. Yes, it sucks because it's technically exploiting children, but the reality is that where Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto are right now, in my eyes, is about where the big 3 were supposed to be when we got introduced to them. The reason why I'm saying that is because of everything they've been through since USJ, Stain Killer, like Hero Killer incident, the Kamino Ward incident. You got all these situations where they've been like forced to fight against like actual villains before they even had licenses, and then they already had like high skill caps to begin with. Like Mirio became super good in the course of his 2nd and 3rd year. Bakugo and them came in hot already, so they're pretty much big 3 level right now. Is where I've been interpreting them to be based on what Horikoshi has set up in the story.
Okay. All right, let me go now. The reason that, because me and Glenn were arguing about this, because this nigga talking about all the plot relevant people are like, they're closer to like Ujiko and this, that. They were specifically stated they picked these specific people out because Eraserhead and Mike, they were Eraserhead and Mike, they were already aware of Kurogiri and the stuff going on in the back end. Then you had Endeavor, who needs to lead the charge in the hospital. Then you had Eraserhead, who was specifically built who was there to take out the Nomu, and they know Ujiko was using John to get everybody out. So logic would be, let's get the guy who can erase quirks to stop their fucking mode of transportation, so we can trap them in the warehouse. Then flashback to Cementos. They're literally in like a concrete building. That nigga is built in order to take out. They have all wide range EOS people. Juzo Mudman can fucking sink people. You got Mushroom Girl who can choke niggas out without even stepping foot inside the building. You got Kaminari who can stun people. It's all about subduing tactics like that. You got Edgewood and Kamubas who fucking specialize in takedowns. So it's like the techniques and the teams are literally suited for their combat situation.
I mean, yeah, I get all that. It's just I just don't know how many. One, I don't know how many students they have there, like from UA, because we only saw 1A. I don't know if they have 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B.
No, they show the 2B too. I mean, class 1B too.
Yeah.
No. I know 1A and 1B. I mean, I don't know if 2A and 2B is there and 3A and 3B.
Oh, definitely. Anybody, because they said directly, anybody who's in the hero course is participating. So if you look back to the work studies, like big panel, even Shishikura, who didn't even get to the 2nd round of provisional license exam, is out here in these streets technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like the Ketsubutsu kids, Shiketsu. That's why, like, part of me is like ready for them to cut away to some Shiketsu kids, as we talked about.
Yeah, because I think I saw Miss Jokin like with them as well in that panel last chapter. Yeah, so if she's there, then people from her school are also there as well.
Yeah, she's with Endeavor, right? I mean, not Endeavor. She's with the Edshot agency.
Yeah.
I
mean, I get why the kids are there. I know it's necessity. I get all that. I just think it's kind of I don't know. I feel like throughout the story they've made it like kind of a note to like keep the kids out of like the super dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've seen them forcibly force them into a dangerous situation. That's just me personally, but I get it.
No, you're right.
Look at who gave the order as opposed to before. Before Hawks, we didn't see the big top lady, the Hero Agency Association lady, at the forefront. It was mainly the police that kept coming out, and it was mainly the fucking civilians that kept having a problem with the kids doing this shit and that shit and this, that, and the third. But now you see the Hero Agency. They train Hawks as a kid to be their fucking dog. These niggas don't know no bounds. You see all the shit they pull behind the strings. That's the big government. Before we were just dealing with the police. Now these are the big top dogs. The government always been sketchy, no matter what media form you're looking at. The government can never be trusted. All that psychological shit, and it's being shown here. It's like these niggas pulling all these. They didn't tell nobody about Kyrgyz. They even tell Endeavor about Hawks, and they know. And Sukuichi didn't even tell Endeavor about Hawks, and that nigga know. They both know.
And that's
what
just
the Hawks is doing.
The actual intricacy of like how deep and dangerous this mission actually is probably not known to a good chunk of the pro heroes, in my opinion.
No, I agree, and that is why I'm so like wow, to put the kid of course we know the kids have been in a dangerous situation, but the level and magnet, like even the camp USJ Camino War pale in comparison to how dangerous this could be. Because like let's say that Kaminari and all of them are just like at the mansion, like doing support. Giganto pulls up, they die in an instant. Like it's not even a question like how fast they can lose their lives. All of 1-8, like besides Bakugo and all of them can lose their lives in a matter of seconds.
Bro, but this is the exact panel. This is the exact panel right here. They've got Midnight's because Shroom asked what you saying. She says, "Should we really be here? Didn't the League of Villains attack UA?" And then Midnight says they've gotten too powerful. Given how much power Shigaraki's gotten his hands on, he's closer than ever to accomplishing his ultimate goal. It's not just you kids who are in danger anymore. But don't worry, we just need your help for the initial stage.
No. You just missed my point. I get all of that. What I'm saying is the heroes, like Aniki said, they don't realize how dangerous all of this.
But they clearly do based off that comment right there.
No. Go ahead, Aniki.
The reason that they're attacking first is because they realize how dangerous Shigaraki and his guys.
I don't think they've told. Like the thing is that I don't think every hero knows that they're taking on 100,000. I think they know they're attacking some bases. They know that there's like that kind of stuff going on, but I don't think every single hero is like informed they're about to fight 116,000 niggas.
And there's some information that's confidential, like twice, for example. They only know twice. When was the last time that they actually saw twice? Was Camino War, right? Or no, was during the overhaul arc, and they saw him make a clone of Compress. Like that's the last time of the thing that they know of Twice abilities. They don't know what Twice abilities are now.
Also,
go ahead.
And something else. When Endeavor is here and directly asks Sukauchi, is he involved in this? Is he here? And Sukauchi's like, I don't know who he is, bro. Like, oh, what you mean? Now, like that deflective nature is what leads me to believe that a lot of people aren't getting, like, people are getting just enough information for them to feel comfortable, or even if they're uncomfortable, like to begrudgingly show up. But I do not think they're getting
that Twice thing is not true. They do know what Twice is doing because Hawks know, and Hawks is the one that told them everything.
No. Dustin, what I'm saying is that yes, Hawks knows this, but the information that Hawks knows is not being distributed to everyone.
It doesn't matter. It's distributed to the people who is orchestrating this operation, and the people that are orchestrating this operation, they have all the information to put the pieces that they need in order to do the thing that they need to do. The military doesn't tell the army every detail about what they need to do, but they know the details, so they deploy the people they need based on the intel that they know. But they don't tell them every facet of the plan.
And that's how you get
all the information that they know because they don't need to know. That's how panic spreads.
And that's how you get stuff like D-Day, where like people just run into the shore and just like get bodied and murked. When you don't have when everybody doesn't know fully what they're getting into.
But if everybody knows, if you know every facet in detail, that's how hysteria and panic is gonna start. You don't tell people more than they need to know.
Yeah, the issue here is that because they're conscripting the kids, this isn't like accidental information throttling. This isn't like it is intentional. They don't want the kids to like fully grasp everything that's happening. They don't want the kids' parents to fully grasp everything that's happening.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying like I'm really surprised that the kids are even in this situation to begin with.
Like they're using the kids for their military power. This is literally like the hey, we're gonna go fight an oil war, but like we'll phrase it as something different, right? This is an actual like important war. Like this isn't like an oil war, but it's that same mentality of we're gonna tell you that you're doing the right thing, and you're just gonna have to trust us because if they won't even tell like people that Hawks is the one who infiltrated this, there's a couple of reasons for that though. The other reason to do that, beyond just they don't need to know and it can cause hysteria, the other reason is that if this goes left, they need the ability to blame and sacrifice somebody besides their most valuable spy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they can't have people just knowing that it's Hawks, even though like that would
also they can have Hawks be the scapegoat in of himself.
Yeah. It's like literally they're sacrificing both him and like they're literally just sacrificing Hawks and the kids because they think that's the ultimate necessary for.
I don't think they're sacrificing the kids. It's more so that the villains have gotten so strong, and if they don't use all they can to stop them now, the kids are going to be in danger either way.
Yeah, it is more like that. I shouldn't say sacrifice. You're right.
Well, it's like that, but it's also like I'm pretty sure that nobody, like, of course we've talked about nobody really knows if the parents really knew how serious this mission was, they would not have signed off on their kids going into this. Like and we know like how Izuku mom feels about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and what's crazy is if All Might knew, even if All Might knew how serious this was, he would, because he didn't even want them to. What situation was it that he didn't want them to have work studies in the first place? If All Might knew what was going on, he would have like, no, these kids are not getting put in this situation.
And he was only okay with them being at Kamino Ward because it worked out. He was like, all right, fine, it worked out, but like.
If he had it his way, they would have never showed up in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have to be involved because it's either they involved now or the villains are going to make them involved later. Well, it's better they involved when they're trying to get ahead of the situation versus the villains just get too powerful and then they're just on the run and there's nothing that they can do.
Well, I'm agreeing with you. Like I agree the kids have to be involved now. What I'm saying is I don't think the kids or a lot of the pro heroes know how serious this is, and I don't think that if they knew, the kids would be involved. That's all I'm saying. I agree the kids have to be involved. I think it's essential and integral that they're involved. I just didn't think that the heroes would put the kids in this. I thought the kids would like show up later on, like out of like, oh, we got to do this. I didn't think they were.
I don't know why you think that though, because this is My Hero Academia, and the kids are the main focus of the story. So of course, even the kids are the heroes aren't the main characters. The students are. So of course they're going to be involved. Like even in the overall arc, they were involved, and they were like involved in fighting the villains like directly. So of course they were going to be involved in the war. The way I thought it was going to pan out was like the kids were going to show up, like, oh, we have to help them out in a sense. I didn't think that they were going to be thrust in there, like I'm put quotation marks around the word willingly. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were going to be actually there by the pro heroes themselves. Is what I'm saying.
My thing is that. What I think the whole point of this is really just Horikoshi is taking every school arc and we're about to get the money shot that every school arc set up.
Yeah.
The provisional license exam to joint training. This is all designed to coalesce into like one point where it's like we're gonna have to see Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku work together. We're gonna see like the 3-on-3, like they're gonna take on some of these generals more than likely. We're gonna see the last minute, boom, the terrorists show up for the second wave of the conflict, like it was in the provisional license. We're going to see all these things come to a head, and that might be the moment where we finally get to see Inasa again. That might be the moment where, like, we're going to see these heroes and these students pull up on these situations the same way that they were being told and instructed to during the provisional license exam. And then we're going to see them have to bounce around and use collaborative efforts like they did during joint training. And it's all going to make sense and be justified because of those arcs. And it's just going to keep making the story age better and better, like spiced wine.
Also, we're not getting a second sports festival.
Yeah. No.
I mean, after all the stuff going on right now, I don't think that's gonna.
No,
happen.
we're not getting a second sports festival.
I hoped. I was like, yo, second sports festival could be lit. We'll have Deku versus Kachan, 3 in the air. They're both like flying around, shooting explosions, like AP shots. And Hori was like, but what if they tried to fight the Metal Liberation Army before that could even happen? And I was
see, that don't make sense to me. Why he would show make clear panels showing the sports festival stage and just the sports festival stage if it wasn't going to be used again.
I think
Horikoshi doesn't do that.
That could also be Horikoshi saying, take one last look because it's never going to be the same.
I don't know. That's a reach, though. I think that's a reach.
Like it could be a reach.
At this point, I think that is because after this, society is not going to be the same after this.
No, they're gonna have to like go to a different country or something like that because once Shigaraki's plan is fully in motion, he's pretty much gonna be in control of like everything going on. He's gonna be telling people to go there, that wherever, and they're gonna have to find some other place to go to for the time being so they can regroup and figure out how they're gonna fight back, reclaim society. I feel like this thing right here is also just setting up like how Deku is going to prove to be like a better hero than All Might by helping, fighting back and everything, because we're obviously going to have the villains win this. Like it's been built up for a long time that like this is the villains, they're gonna,
it's villain season.
Yeah, it's villain season. And the second round is just going to be the heroes coming back. They have more forces, they're a lot stronger, they've been training ever since then, etc., so on. And I feel like right there it's probably going to be Horikoshi's way of showing us like how Deku becomes the greatest hero by reclaiming society, destroying everything that Shigaraki built on top of this new society that he's trying to create.
And I really want a somber ending where like, yes, Deku beats it. I'm
not saying by himself. Obviously, he's gonna have his friends.
Oh yeah, I want to see a somber ending where like, yeah, Deku beats Shigaraki, but society is never the same, and like, yes, Deku becomes the greatest hero, but crime and stuff is like more like Shigaraki inspires the level of villainy, like for the rest of history, like where like people are now banding together and doing even more villainous acts. So even though like they beat Shigaraki, like his legacy is so much greater than All for One that it creates like an endless battle of like good and evil. Like I really hope it's like that.
So that makes sense. And here's a couple. One, I don't think that one of the things that I think is like a possibility is that My Hero Academia. One, I've talked about it switching to the My Hero phase,
right?
Where like it's no longer My Hero Academia; it's just My Hero. But one of the things that's possible in this is that we get My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia finishes off with time skips and everything, even like encompassing this entire Fall of Shigaraki arc. And then the transition to My Hero is moreover about an era of vigilantism where I think potentially Hero Society is still collapsed, where heroes are still not like approved by the government anymore, but it is more like if you want to be a hero, do that on your own time. We're not paying people to save the day anymore because it led to so many other problems. And so I think that's where we're more than likely heading, which will be interesting to see how that develops and blossoms too, because of the fact that Vigilantes kind of talked about how the reason why the Hero Society was made, also because I was rereading, and specifically the first Hero Society is Rhode Island, which I think is an interesting twist because who the fuck cares about Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Only 7 people got to be like approved. Also, there's no Rhode Island Smash. But and so
that we know of.
Yeah, that we know of. So yeah, like I think we're at a point where we kind of need to see everything completely deconstruct, and then also see the vigilante phase of society where heroes are more or less vigilantes and not superheroes like sponsored by the government. You know what I mean? Also,
I was while I was creating the YouTube video I'm making for My Hero Academia, shameless plug. No. Yeah, shameless plug. But I was talking about Stain, and I was talking about like him getting released from prison, and where does Stain go? And I was saying that Stain has the potential to his 3 possibilities. One, because he doesn't like the way that things are going in society, he joins the hero side, and not the hero side right now, but the hero side with the kids, and then become vigilantes. 2, he either joins the League of Villains, and that causes a whole bunch of issues because he doesn't like what Shigaraki's doing, and a lot of people defect from Shigaraki because they originally wanted to join because of Stain. And 3, Stain creates his own faction that goes against both sides because he hates both sides. So I think Stain is an interesting character that we're not talking about, that who's going to play a huge role, like after like he gets free. That's just me personally. And how do y'all feel about that?
That's actually something like I haven't had somebody bring up before. Because like part of me feels like Stain is just going to be like. Part of me doesn't feel like Stain would want Elysian. Like part of me feels like he would find that phony. He'd be like, "Oh, that's fake. Having a horde of followers is fake. Real heroes, blah blah blah.
Right.
Out here." Which, by the way, he should actually like Mirko too, then, because Mirko doesn't even bother with having a proper agency.
Right.
But to that same degree, I could see Stain more or less just being like, "Fuck it, I'm helping out the heroes. I am." Part of me being this way is what led to the villains being able to get this foothold, being able to grasp like a whole society. Because I could see Dobby feeling like he's outgrown Stain anyway. Like that was just a phase. Yeah, and like Toga has definitely outgrown her obsession with Stain by now. Toga is 100% invested into the league at this point. The idea of because like she like following Stain, yeah, she could possibly like be in love with him, turn into him, be like him. But that's not actually what Toga's trying to be. Toga's beliefs are more in line with the Meta Liberation Army, like the core of who she is as a person. Yeah. So I think a lot of the what Stain pulled people in for, they realized that they're a lot more than what his ideologies were. And you got people like Spinner, because of his quirk being Gecko, like that, like the whole point of that is that he's always going to be clinging on to something, like that's part of his personality, is just latching on to whatever he can get a hold of. And so him latching on to Shigaraki, there's no reason for him to let go now. Shigaraki has made him more powerful, more influential, and happier in his life, and more free than any second that following Stain did for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like this man is a military commander now, sitting here on his laurels.
Yeah, he went from playing video games in his room to like being a commander.
Yeah, and didn't they say that him and Compress like two of the most important people of the actual Liberation Army because of like how much they actually do, like with logistics and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do a lot. Like one of the main things we hear is like, Compress and Spinner are in meetings for days, and it's like that they're constantly doing work. And somebody put porn on my dash. So yeah, like Spinner is the one who came up with the name for the Paranormal Liberation Front. And he came up with it collaborating with Redestro. So we see that he's like constantly interacting with these people in a meaningful way. So Spinner's life, like everybody has outgrown Stain. And that's kind of how I think that he just kind of has to follow whoever. Like I can still see him joining the villain side because he still wants the hero society down and then killing as many villains too. Just being like a dude that's just out here murking people.
Yeah, that's why I'll say he could be neutral. Like he could literally go against both sides.
Faction though. I don't see him getting a faction.
Well, yeah, or maybe not a faction, but him being neutral and him going against both sides. So where like there's gonna be what's a character that did like Black Cat from like Marvel, where like she does what benefits her with either side. Like maybe he'll do something that benefits the heroes, but it's not for their benefit. It's ultimately for his benefit. Or like he may do something that benefits the villains, but ultimately it's again for his benefit, not for theirs.
Yeah. Somebody suggested that the spy devices in Hawks' wings are bombs.
That'll be an L.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
You know how dumb you feel letting them put all those things on you and they were bombs? They'd be like,
yeah.
Damn, that's a way for Hawk. That's a great way for Hawks to lose his wings.
Mm.
Hey, let me talk about this real quick. Somebody tried to I guess because of the paneling, I guess people got confused.
Mm-hmm.
No, there are at least 20 high-end nomos. There's no debating.
I see you tweeting about that.
Oh yeah.
Look at the panel. The first introduction, you see five on each row, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the first introduction, I think we see 6 on each row. Let me double check.
Yeah, you see 6 on. I think you see 6 on each row, right? There is a mini small Nomu with a cannon on his hand. Look at the newest chapter. That Nomu is on the that Nomu is on the. Let's say that somebody want to say that's the second row. Let's say that's the second row. He's on the far right hand side. There's 2 more rows after that, and there's a row in front of him because you can still see the cannon on his hand in the same size. That means there's at least 20. And not to mention, I was trying to like circle something and it zoomed in by accident. I don't know if I've seen another container with another Nomu up top on top of the rail or not.
No, I do see that. So
Yeah. Like if you scroll on that panel, you look all the way at the top.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
We got 6 in each of these rows on the initial introduction.
And then we have something at the top up there. So like we don't know how
That's minimum 18.
minimum, and like we don't know how far back these rows go, and we don't know if he has them on different railings. We don't know because like the high ends are supposed to be like his babies, and we don't know how long he's been creating them for.
So, and like the thing is that Mirako is fast.
Yeah.
The way she's blitzing through here, she could be fast enough to like actually fight with a high end. And like the way her fighting style is going, it seems like actually, let me see something about her feet real quick.
Oh, that's I don't know what that means.
That sounded weirder than I wanted it to.
Got a feet fetish.
No, that's the boy. Still don't understand it, but you know, hey.
Are you trying to see if she has support equipment on her feet?
I'm trying to see. Yeah, she doesn't have anything extra special on her feet this time, though. Like,
Yes, she does.
No. I'm saying she doesn't have anything different from like what we saw the first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So that just means she just always has these guards on her feet so she can slice niggas' heads off, which is kind of wild.
yeah. I think it's like Deku's, like where she can activate it, like like how his souls like pop out and do more destructive ability. I think it's like that. So if she doesn't want it to like kill a lot of people, it won't. And
Also,
can we just? She is the best design girl in My Hero Academia by far.
Oh my god! I hate this. I hate what you. You so recency biased, bro. That's crazy.
The other thing about this stuff is that in My Hero It Matters, she took out a bunch of Nomu without using a named attack.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't like, let me use my special. Like, no, she was just like, let me casually cleave through y'all domes and keep going. Okay,
I feel like Maruko about to die, if I'm being honest.
Dude, if she's the first death, that would be like, oh shit, she hit the fan. That would be crazy.
Either she dies or gets injured or something.
Because the thing is, if she dies, it automatically changes the way we compute combat for everyone beneath her in the power ranking, right? Like, because like if Mirako dies, depending on how she dies, how fast she dies, we could look at this as like, okay, well maybe Mirako, but then it's like, well, what the fuck is Crust gonna do? Because he's like the sword and shield hero, right? So automatically, whatever quirk he has probably isn't as augmenting as like.
But isn't the rankings based on popularity though?
It's based on popularity, how much ass you kick, and like both of those metrics actually. Like how much. So like Endeavor kicks so much ass.
No, what the fuck happens?
That's East. Get your hands off yourself, man.
Talk about Miracle right now.
Yeah, just going to town, man.
He said, "Get your hands off yourself." Bro, I'm so ready for this stream tonight because that stream gonna be all cap.
Oh snap! I gotta send you a couple videos because we specifically watched some videos to discuss that did like oh, these are the problems with My Hero Academia.
Oh, is that tonight?
Yes.
Oh, I'm there. I'm there for that one.
It's not gonna be one fact. It's gonna be all cap. It's nothing but cap with these My Hero.
Because here's the thing, like the thing that's funny is that as you watch these videos, you'll be like, holy fuck, these arguments are so bad faith. But the thing is that it takes like people's common complaints, like, oh, the characters aren't developed. Like people like, and then like when you actually hear somebody like use their argument, like uninterrupted, what they think substantiates that, it's like, holy fuck. As Dustin said, the level of cap is just.
Send me those videos too. Send me those videos too. I gotta watch this. I watch them.
Yeah, I gotta see these. Every single day, I see some weird shit.
I've been waiting for a stream like this because, bro, it's be like everybody they be talking, like they be making arguments against My Hero, and I'd be like, bro, what you saying is like literally factually untrue.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like that My Hero haters. It's like if you said something like, well, I don't like this. Like, what's something that I can say that's truly substantial? Like, okay, you can say I don't like how when there is a big arc with the students that the boys are put to the forefront and some of the girls take a back seat. Okay, I was like, okay, I can see that. Like, if you have that complaint about it, there have been plenty of arcs where, like, yeah, the girls do something, but it's definitely not as big as the boys. Fair complaint, whatever. But like some of the stuff I'll be hearing, I'll be like, it's not even a fair complaint. This is factually untrue, and it's been proven by what Horikoshi has written in the story, past, present, and future.
Like, I could just exist to cheer on Deku. As she's the MVP of round 5.
Yeah, I'll be like, come on, bro.
like, bro, you watch her, like, she judo chopped somebody, stuck another one to a pipe, told Monoma to fuck off, and you gonna act like all she's been doing is cheering on Deku? Like, come on.
And people really like. That's like my biggest issue. Like people always downplay her all the time. They don't really try to grasp her character at all.
No, the biggest complaint I always see is that my hero characters aren't developed enough, and 2, they're just not interesting. The not interesting thing is so weird because then they'll say arguments like Asta's more interesting. He's way stronger than huh? Like you can't gauge his strength. Like, yes, I would agree. Asta would probably beat most of the characters in My Hero Academia, if not all of them, at the current point where he is in his story. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah,
I don't read it anymore. So
where did you drop it, kid?
He dropped it at Julius.
Thank you, my guy.
not only that, but it didn't click with me.
Yeah,
Because in order for me to like really get invested in a series, I need to click with me. I need to have that sort of like vibe with it. I tried at least 3 to 4 times with that series.
That's how I feel about Back to Stone.
So here's the thing, right? Is that when you dropped it, I remember like you posted it. It was like Kid dropped it, Cypher dropped it, and like I remember it just being.
I remember that too.
Like 5 people who dropped it right there, and like the thing is that I was like, look, I'm gonna read this shit because I don't want Black Clover fans to be like, you didn't even give it a fair shot, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck we get -5 main character deaths in a war arc?
you brought 5 people back.
Like, how do we get -5 main character deaths? Like, that was the thing that threw me off. I was like, bro, that's disrespectful. Like, don't call it a war. Don't call that a war.
I knew how, like, what's so funny is like I remember when Black Clover was like in the peak of the F arc or what, I don't know what it's called because I stopped after a certain point. I didn't even get to the F training arc. I didn't get to the Julia stuff. I didn't even make it that far. But I remember Destin, like me and Destin having conversations. He was like, bro, this art classic. And I was like, Destin, I was like, Black Clover is not as good as you think it is, bro. I was like, I remember having these conversations. I knew the moment I knew Black Clover wasn't that good is when I was binge reading it and Asta lost his arms and got it back in the 2 or 3 chapters. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I kept reading it, but I was like, I knew then that let me just enjoy it for what it is because.
No, but see, my thing with Black Clover, I always enjoyed it for what it was. Because I was like, this is like in all these new shonen that are kind of reinventing the shonen genre, whether it be Neverland, My Hero, Act Age, Jujutsu Kaisen. Black Clover to me was like one of the only shonen that was just like a true shonen through and through. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you needed that kind of, but I never expected much from it. But that chapter when Fenrir was getting his ass beat, and then they had this panel where they panned to Asta, Luck, Magna, and Charming, they was all ready to like pull up on this dude at like what Fenrir's brother at the same time. To me, that's when the writing that went up to another level, and then the Elf arc was like really great until that Julian shit.
Like, here's the thing. I always say that for me, Black Clover was at its best on the Royal Knights exam.
I would agree as well.
The Elf arc for me was like okay, but it just felt like okay. It was like nonstop bombastic action. The thing is, like, Black Clover needed a better anime for the way the series is written.
It did.
Yes, it did.
That's what I will say because like it is designed to be like a meathead rush. It is not like people will say like oh it's like no, it's not really deep, dude. Don't play it.
Not deep at all.
If they had a better studio, it could have been Demon Slayer level of like popularity.
It would have been. Like not like at least state wise it would have been. I'm not gonna say in Japan it would have been because like it would still have been like the French Renaissance style, not the Japanese culture hit that like I think KNY like has. But it definitely would have done Black Clover some favors to have a way better treatment as far as the animation goes, just because it's a series that relies on its fights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Black Clover had Ufotable as the animators, hell, even like Madhouse or Bones, like I don't even want to think about the Black Clover fans that will be fighting on my timeline daily.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just hate that they keep it long running too. Like they should have made a seasonal. Like just have it keep going.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
No. Upside, Yuno's light novel, and they're doing like actual training arcs that they just did a 6-month time skip, which is another thing that they shouldn't have done after the Yaiba thing. I mean, after the Julia stuff. but they're animating some filler stuff, which will actually be good for the series because of the fact that like it needs to, actually flesh out, a lot more. But I want to get back on to My Hero because somebody mentioned that somebody said Odin versus Kaido was as bad as like My Hero art. And then the person admitted they didn't actually read MHA. And I'm just going to say, you could just send them that spread today from Mirako versus Nomu, where she's just slicing it up, and ask them like, is this bad art? This My Hero level art? Is this what you're saying?
My Hero has really good art.
I think it has. I don't want to. I always don't want to say this because I don't read everything in Shonen Jump, so I don't know for sure.
No, Dr. Stone. I don't like Dr. Stone, but Dr. Stone has the best art in Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Boichi and Murata, who draws like the One Punch Man manga.
Yeah, they top tier.
Yeah, like I don't mind putting them over her. Like,
other than those two, I think, and the reason why I think that My Hero is like number 3, because I don't know anything else that has better like art, and like because I think that series that for example, like Act Age, for example, I know it doesn't have the best art, but it's easier to do things like that when there's not a lot of movement, and I mean the art is more still. But like when you got to actually do movement and fights and stuff, I think that's really where the art shines, and I think that's why I love My Hero so much.
I probably put My Hero at number 3.
Yeah, My Hero's like the third, like definitively. It's not even like I don't think it's close.
Well, it's number 2 if you're not counting One Punch Man.
I don't really count One Punch Man because of like it's
technically not.
Yeah, and then the dude that does it has so much time. Like he has so much material to go off of, and he has so much time to draw everything.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. That dude is a monster. Period.
He's a monster. Period. Like Horikoshi got to do it week to week, and he has more time to like fully dry out everything.
I appreciate Horikoshi's art better because it started off good, but like it has gotten like noticeably way better. Like just the detail that he do.
And I stand by Horikoshi having like the best character designs. Honestly, I actually
does.
Like, because like the big meme with My Hero has been name the main character based on character design. Like when you just like line them up next to each other, and you really can't. Like you wouldn't like if you didn't know this series and you looked at chapter 259 at the end, where like there or like 258 or 259 where they're all just standing around. You would be like, shit, like who's the main character? Like if you just got that panel where like Bakugo's hair, Deku's hair, Shoto's hair, everybody's like there, like you would know, you might be able to pick out as one of those 3, but you wouldn't like easily just know it was like one.
You know what's so funny? If you go to 259 and go to page 9, it looks like Hiroshima's the main character. The way he's standing, the way like his design looks.
Yeah,
dude, it looks like Hiroshima's the main character. And like in any other series, Hiroshima's design is main character worthy.
And like even in this one, like the way he's posture, you would think Momo was like the female lead here. You would actually, based on Jiro's position, you would think of her as like one of the most important secondary characters. Period.
You got Mineta right there, looking like the rival to the main character. The GOAT.
I wouldn't go that far.
Of course, man, don't want more name.
So, man, it's a shame we didn't get to see Slide and Go laid out on the streets this chapter. I would have liked to follow up to that story thread.
What's so funny is that Slide and Go just was like, oh shit, it's happening.
Okay. Yeah, the Death Note one shot was good. Yes, the anime skipped the mice scene. They skipped Bakugo's flashback. They skipped Kami getting the little girl's phone number. They skipped the kids helping them clean up. They skipped Bakugo destroying the slide.
I gotta say, this has been Bones' most like weird season, and it's still good. It's still good though, but it's just the most where like they've been like, whoa, they like the first 3 seasons Bones was adapted faithfully. Like this season, like it's a little more liberties taken.
They broke out the scissors and just was like, fuck that page, fuck that page, fuck that page.
You know what I think it is?
I'm glad they kept that Bakugo moment from the recent episode, though. I was worried that was going to get cut out.
No, I know what I was going to say. But you know what I think it is that this season is one of the, like, the amount of content between the overhaul arc and, like, the Culture Festival is such a weird, like, amount of information and a weird amount of stuff they have to cram into one season. Because honestly, I think this is the first time where like 3 arcs are being like animated all together. Like where it was like I know the remedial course arc is not really like considered like a true arc, but it still like has content there. So they're like having this weird thing where they have to space out like everything and put because it's a lot of content. And honestly, I don't think that if they were to do this like the normal format they did where they keep everything in and like animate everything, they would have had enough time to like go get through the gentle arc, like the culture festival arc.
So here's the thing. I actually did the math on chapter adaptation rate. They could have.
Yeah, I think they can. I don't know why
The
they
reason why though is that like that fist in the back credits, the reason why they're doing this is that I'm positive they actually might be trying to like make sure they can squeeze in the Pro Hero arc. So they might be doing the Culture Festival in like 3 chapter chunks because this chapter, due to them cutting out like 4 pages, adapted effectively 3 chapters in 1 episode. Because it did both of the Aoyama chapters, which I thought they were going to finish the episode on Aoyama outside the window.
Yeah.
Too.
That's how they finished off one of the volumes too. I thought it was going to end on like cliffhanger where people go like, "Oh,
yeah, like
why is he staring at him for?"
Like a week of tension, but like no, they were like boom, boom. So from that perspective, we can get the next 3 chapters like boom, 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 because like it's like them deciding what they want to do. So all they have to do, like they'll probably because they cut jokes out. Like they cut out the fact that when Deku answers the question, Bakugo was like, and then when he fails, he like laughs at him. They can remove that joke because they did the scene from behind. But which just saves them animation, I guess. So they made it a point to speed through certain little moments like that. So I'm thinking they're gonna cut through some of the scenes where like Kaminari and Mineta try to propose they do a maid bar or a strip club for what they're going to settle on as a topic, and they might just cut straight to like having them like, what should we do? Mention like maybe a study party. Go, I don't know about that, and then have Shoto pull up with a laptop and be like, let's do this.
It also could be the opposite, where they were trying to rush through those bits so they could stretch out the sports festival more, and they could have stretched out the Deku Jutsu fight. It could be also the opposite.
Yeah, it could be either way. I'm just saying, like, if they're doing it that way, they might be so that they can.
I really hope that the Deku Jutsu fight is like the best animation that Bones has ever done, because this fight deserves it. This is the best fight of the series by far, and I just hope that it gets like
not by far, but it's the best fight.
It's Deku's best fight in the series.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I like that too.
When I say best by far, I meant like
choreography
and like I want to say the Naruto Kishimoto effect, where it's just hands.
Like, also, the big brain aspect of him like having to memorize the locations in the air. Because one of the things that I like is that emphasizes to us as the reader that these visual cues are only for you, not for them. So like he's literally guessing which area of the air or the sky has been made elastic and bouncing off of it.
Yeah, and also I remember people saying, like, as a knock to my hero, that Deku has powers now, he doesn't need to think anymore. I was like, the whole point is that when he didn't have master of his quirk, he had to think too much, and now he's having to like it's getting to the point where his instincts and his smarts is starting to become intuition. So he doesn't have to like Endeavor saying, he doesn't have to actively think. He can passively, unconsciously like come up with this stuff in his head. So it's not so much he has to actively think anymore, which is a good thing because his body is catching up to his mind.
Deku will always think though. That's just who he is.
Well, he's always going to think, but he doesn't have to actively think as much. He can, passively do it.
The idea is that he'll be able to get from point A to B faster. It's like instead of him, us going through every step where he's showing the work, it'll be like he's it'll be like when somebody just writes 36 when they see 6 times 6, right? Like it'll be like he'll just start making the smarter decisions naturally. So we'll still see him
have more experience.
Yeah, he'll still make those decisions as if if they were something that he had to sit there, plan and think it out. But instead he'll just bow, like on the fly, adapt, do what he needs to do. I
don't get why people don't understand it. It's like when you first learn multiplication, slow. Let me say like long multiplication, because I don't want to use simple multiplication. Yeah. But like once you learn long multiplication, it's like you have to literally, when you first learn it, you have to literally do every single step, or even any type of math. But like when you actually get down, or it's just anything in life comfortably, you get to the point where it's like you don't even think about it. Like for me at work, for example, like when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I gotta think. I had notes right now. I was constantly looking back at my notes. Now it's like, oh, I got to do this again. Boop, 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 and I'm done. It's just like with anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
Repetition, do it enough times, he doesn't have to think about the things he used to. So, when is the stream happening?
The Factor Cap one, that one's going to be around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Central Time. So that's,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's 3 for you, 5 for me. Okay, I got 4 hours to play the game.
That's like 6 for you. But that's when I got Ian and I, like, some of us are like meeting, at least starting to like get into the room so that way we can start. I actually got like more people than can fit, so like somebody's gonna have to like wait a bit before they hop in. But
yeah, please send me those. I don't know if you have already, but please send me those videos. Like, I want to watch some Cap while I'm like playing the game and stuff. So like,
this man said I want to watch some Cap. I want to watch Cap. There's something wrong with you.
No, because I want to be like fresh on like all the Cap, like, you know, because people always say that the My Hero fans like unjustly like hate on people that, you know, and like a lot of the times I don't be remembering everything that all the negatives people give about My Hero, because like I'm not actively thinking about it, and you know, I throw them out after like the initial discussion, because like I think about the positives more than I think about the negatives.
Yeah. All right, so here's the question that I got for all y'all, because I usually don't do this. What did you rate the week's chapter out of 10?
I gave it a 5.
A 5 out of 10?
Yeah.
I
didn't really like this chapter.
What?
Yeah, it was just like it was like a waste of a chapter to me, really, because it was like we ended the chapter the same way we ended the last chapter.
It's the whole K Island effect.
Yeah, kind of. It was like, oh, we got like right. Oh, now he's getting. Oh, now we got you again. Like, oh shit, they got me again. It was like the same ending.
Personally, I
it wasn't bad though. It just we got a little information, but
it's just an average chapter to you. Just,
yeah,
like really like just middle of the line. I gave it a 7, and this is subject to change based on like what happens with the doctor. Like if something happens that I don't like, that will like decrease this and last chapter value a lot to me. But if something happens that I really do like, it will increase like the value like all of these chapters like collectively. So it's a 7. It's subject to change for me personally.
Yeah, for me, it probably have to be like, I guess like 7. I'd probably say like 7.5 actually.
Yeah, that's more where I'm actually leaning, because for me, information is always important.
Yeah, that's mainly what I'm looking for all the time. I don't care about people punching each other in the face every chapter. Like when stuff's laid out, I usually take time to look into that to try to decipher what it's supposed to mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the action's coming. I just want to see if there's something Horikoshi is throwing in there that's going to be brought up later on, or possibly he's hinting. Yeah, just basically things that he's like possibly hinting at that like you need to pay attention to whenever it gets brought up.
Yeah, like part of me
much of that in this chapter though.
Like my thing is like when we see all these vials, we get like the information about how many high end there really might be.
Yeah.
Like could be all these chips with the DNA and stuff in them saved that we know that, because like that also to me this changes like how we should be perceiving like Nomu surgeries, because we got to look at it as like he's literally like taking this information like slowly like rewriting their DNA essentially. Oh snap, East is here, he's back just in time to tell us what he rates the chapter out of 10.
A 9.
Man, you already know what I'm rating the chapter out of 10. Since it ain't been nothing but 10 out of 10. It's insane.
This chapter is not a 10 out of 10. Ease. Come on, bro.
Yes, it is.
No, how is this a 10 out? You didn't even give it a 10 out of 10, Rich. What are you talking about?
Let Ease get his stuff off, man. Let him have his 10, Dustin.
No, it's not a 10.
I mean,
bro.
if you want me to show my fanboy side, then that's
Oh, yeah.
definitely 10 out of 10.
I feel like Kid was ready to rate it higher, but like held it back once Dustin said 5.
No, it's like I mean, to be perfectly honest, like I usually enjoy every single chapter of My Hero, mainly because I just like focusing on like all the build up and all the things that are laid out, so I could decipher everything, like I brought up earlier.
I agree.
Because I'm more of like an information kind of guy. Like I like see the thing about me is that I don't care about a fight if there's no meaning behind it. People start charging at each other and start punching each other in the face. I'm not gonna care if there's no weight behind it. That's the thing about me.
And me personally, like if I was not having these discussions and I was just reading My Hero by myself, every chapter would be a 10 out of 10. But because we're like delivering meaningful like discussion and stuff, yeah, like I subjectively like this is what I mean, you know what I'm like.
The reason I can't get to 10 out of 10 because this is later in the chapter. Hey, we caught you. Oh wait, no, you're a clone. Oh wait, you're running. Oh wait, you were trying to escape. Oh wait, here's Morocco. Oh no, we're gonna get you this time. That's the end of the chapter. That's not a 10, bro. That's not a 10.
Like the way I looked at it, like
for that showcase and not it's showcased but not told. He didn't tell us they had 20 extra normal. We thought they just had like 12, 13.
yeah,
He didn't tell us. I mean, we had to see it for ourselves.
Yeah, but that don't bump it up nothing, bro.
yeah, like
To him, it does.
Yeah, like the things I took from this chapter that was interesting to me, like going back to what I was talking about before, was like the stuff with Ujiko and like Aizawa like activated his quirk and he seems like he has some sort of aging quirk. I thought that was interesting. I noticed some people actually noticed as well that like President Mike's sunglasses cracked when he screamed. And also with like Mirako going up against like all those Nomu in the hallway and noticing like all of those chips on the shelf that have like all those quirks inside them, which rest in peace, those people. Yeah, but, and then also seeing Shigaraki inside of that tube because the last time we saw him, he was like flat. He was like on that.
He's on an operating bed. He's in a recovery
operating bed.
I have to make this part interesting. He's in a recovery stage now. This isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so planet Namek shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And so, and then on top of that, though, like for me, what that wall of chips does, like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this is like 40 some chips, right? Just in the top row.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is like maybe 15 rows. So 40 times 15, that's like 600 victims just right there on this one wall. And then you look at this another wall that he's like going past. So it's like, we talking hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of victims caught by this dude. Old people, babies, orphaned babies.
But see, like
people.
But the reason I'm upset with East calling this a 10 out of 10 is because you got like you compare this to the 3 flashback chapters of Shigaraki, which I feel like most people agree are all 3 of those chapters are 10 out of 10. This chapter don't compare to those chapters. So how can you call this chapter 10 out of 10? That's crazy to me.
I think we got to stop doing this. There can be. I think we got to rate.
No, bro.
You know what I'm about to say? I think we have to start rating chapters like action chapters. There's a 10 out of 10 action chapter, but it may not be the same like as a 10 out of 10 information chapter. You know what I mean? Like a 10 out. Like I feel like we got to stop. Like a setup chapter.
But them Shigaraki chapters those were information chapters.
They were okay.
And characterization chapters.
They were, but what I'm saying is,
this chapter was not like it wasn't like. This is like don't get me wrong. I love My Hero for the information, the build up, the details, the methodical ways that Horikoshi plots his story. That's what I love My Hero for.
Yeah, same.
This chapter was not like other chapters where we got like in a really well way of distributing that. Like it was just a little bit of stuff that lets you speculate more and more and more, but it wasn't like really just planted like that. Like to me, this chapter was cool. It wasn't like
I didn't give it a 10. So like I'm in agreement with you, doesn't. But what I'm saying is like I think that even like reviews, I think we should start like let's say like the All Might versus All for One. That's a 10 out of 10 chapter. Camino War like fight. I think that we should start like basing chapters of like what they're intended to do and not like a general like 10 out of 10.
I agree with you, but we also gotta stop giving chapters a 10 out of 10. Every chapter a 10 out of 10. You're just degrading. Like a 10 is something you're not supposed to just give out. Like you're degrading a 10 out of 10. You can't just like, oh, this is a 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna let East do what he do and give him 10 out of 10.
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you, he gotta stop that, man. He gotta stop.
That's who I want to be. I want to just be like, yo, 10 out of 10. I don't care what nobody's saying. That's what I want to.
You can't do that, bro.
All right, guys. I just wanted to.
My bad.
I wanted to end the stream with a little drama and have a little debate real quick. You guys got anything to promote real quick? No.
Go. Anybody want? All right, go to my YouTube channel. Like we on the up and come up. Like I'm about to start making more videos as soon as I like get over the little funk of being tired from work. But yeah, check me out.
Man,
I got a podcast. He and Destin are actually in those podcast I have.
When's the next episode?
I'm planning on doing it. It was supposed to be this week, but it was going to be the podcast topic was My Hero First 258 versus One Piece 258.
Yeah. That's a good
Morgan.
stream.
I was gonna do that, and but I'm gonna say that for next week because Morgan wasn't able to do it this week. So I'm gonna do that next week. And this week I'm doing my top 10 favorite My Hero characters. That's what I was doing. I came here.
I want to promote Rex being in a clown suit once Dobby is revealed to be Toya.
Yes, sir.
Everybody come to my channel for that day because he will be in a clown suit, clown nose, all that.
I can't wait for that.
Gonna have that little horn with him.
Yeah, he gonna be a clown that day. He already a clown, but we gonna see it.
Kid.
Thanks for having me though.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything to push, Kid?
Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah, definitely read Chainsaw Man. That's for sure. Also, Jujutsu Kaisen, because I'd argue and say that probably has the best choreography right now in Jump.
Yeah. I'll give it that. Yeah. Because I like the way it captures motion really well.
Same.
So, all right, guys. So we're ending the stream here. Facts of Cap stream later tonight, discussing some of the most common criticisms of My Hero Academia, whether or not they're fact or cap. Love to see you guys there. Everybody have a good day.
Yes, sir.